Securities offered through TJ Stearns, a registered representative of Crown Capital Securities LP, member FINRA SIPC. Content is intended to provide accurate information, however, is not intended as financial, tax, or legal advice. Please consult a financial, legal, or tax professional for specific information regarding your individual situation. Opinions expressed and provided are for general informational purposes only and should not be considered a solicitation for the purchase or sale of any security.
Welcome to Protect and Grow with ChicagoLand Certified Financial Planner Tim Stearns of TJ Stearns Incorporated. Trust, respect, and results. TJ Stearns Incorporated focuses on comprehensive financial planning and benefits.
And welcome into the program. This is Protect and Grow ChicagoLand Retirement with ChicagoLand's certified financial planning resource, your CFP from TJ Stearns Inc. He is President Tim Stearns here with us. Tim, welcome back into the program.
Hey, Peter. Thanks again for having me.
Always a pleasure, Tim. We appreciate the time, and we thank you for the guidance and perspective that you have provided to Chicagoland area savers and investors, especially through difficult and turbulent economic times. Having you as a resource has definitely been of benefit and greatly appreciated and of value. So, Tim, thank you for providing us and, of course, the listeners with the common sense approach that you bring to the airwaves each and every week.
Well, Peter, thanks again for letting me talk to you guys about these different things. The one thing I want to kind of focus on today, because I've noticed a common theme here, a lot of people don't have a blueprint, when they want to go and retire. And, the analogy you and I have used for months here on our show is, if I came to you as a contractor, without a blueprint, would you sign up with me to redo your kitchen or your house? And the resounding no, right? Well, people are kind of winging it. One of the guys that we just got out of our class that now has become a client says that to his coworkers. He's like, "Oh, you're just kind of wing retirement." And I think that's why you need to have a blueprint, a roadmap to get to where you want to go, which is an ideal retirement.
Well, if you would like to get that plan put together, have a blueprint, have a roadmap to that ideal retirement, because we only get one chance at it, pick up the phone and give Tim Stearns and TJ Stearns Inc. a call at 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. 800-640-2256 for the guidance from the perspective of a certified financial planner. Direct answers to direct questions if you've got a few issues on your mind, or if you want a total or comprehensive review, evaluation, and retirement planning strategy session. Tim Stearns offers that as an extension of the education and the answers that he provides here on the radio program. So again, just pick up the phone and give a call, 800-640-2256. And I think that analogy, Tim, it is a great one. The plan is the blueprint here, is what you're talking about. It is the roadmap. It's a detailed image of where we are today and where we want to get to, and the step-by-step instructions of how to put it together. I remember as a kid trying to build Lego sets without the instructions. It never ended up like the picture.
Exactly. And I think that that's kind of what people are realizing, especially with what's happened with this pandemic, that, you have to have a plan so that you don't have to lean on your account that just had 30% of it disappear in a month. There's different ways to make retirement. I think asset allocation is a broken model. We've talked about this. It broke in 2000, 2001, 2002, 2008, 2018. And obviously this year it's a broken model, strategy, whatever you want to call it.
And when you say that it's broken, Tim, the idea, the concept behind income allocation is you diversify in different types of asset classes, or asset allocation rather, not income allocation. The concept behind asset allocation is that diversifying in different types of asset classes, when one is poorly performing, others will grow and gain and benefit. And in all of those instances, all of those several years you just mentioned, many asset classes were all down at the same time. And that's why what you mean when you say it's broken.
Right. Well, here's the problem. A lot of these asset allocation models are using correlated assets. So if a stock goes down, the bond fund goes down too. You have to try to get some non-correlated assets in there, whether it's even holding CDs or something, which I know they're not paying a lot right now, but something that's safe, that you have some peace of mind, because the last thing you want to do is panic when you're in retirement, when you're a net seller of assets. all these baby boomers are, they're all they've ever known as retirement are 401ks. So their asset is what it is. That day that it's done, it's a finite amount of money. They're not putting more into it. The only way that they're going to have gains in there is growth, So if they're losing, it's a double whammy. And that's why, what I want to do, Peter, if it's okay, is I'd like to offer to the first 10 callers that call into the show our book, Income Allocation by my good friend David Gaylor. It really kind of spells out what we're trying to accomplish here. And I know that like a lot of my siblings who are all baby boomers, all four of them, they've read the book and they understand what we're trying to accomplish and they feel better. And that's, peace of mind when you're retired. There's nothing better.
Well, this is a book being used as a reference, as a resource across the country by savers, by investors, by financial advisors who are trying to teach their clients how to structure the plan for the ideal and a confident retirement. And if those are goals for you to have that confidence and stability moving through retirement, it is a must read. Pick up the phone right now. First 10 callers with at least 500,000 saved for retirement. You must be taking your planning and your own financial future seriously here. But if you do meet those simple qualifications, call now, get a copy of Income Allocation, this retirement planning resource guide in your hands. You can get the physical copy or you can get the digital copy emailed out to you, either way. But if you would like that, if you'd like to have that read and that education, pick up the phone now and give a call, 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. Tim, you mentioned the baby boomer generation. They've had this tool, this 401k or their retirement planning accounts, their investments. Having the tools for the job and having the instructions for the job are really two very different things, though. And without that blueprint, again, we could have all the hammers, all the nails, all the plumbing, all the electrical cabling. But if we don't have the plan for how to bring those all together, we probably won't end up with the final product that we envision. So both are important, having the tools and having the instructions.
I agree. There's a lot of different products out there now that can accomplish this. One of the things we show in our retirement class is, it'd be nice if you had a Swiss Army knife, right? That would fix all this stuff for retirement. There is no such thing. So you have to get a plan and then use the different tools that are out there. Non-correlating assets is a big thing that I'd harp on a lot. It's not just stocks and bonds anymore. These target date funds, they're not fix-alls either. Look what happened to them in March. So we try to make sure that people see the vast array of services that are out there that you could be using to have that peace of mind.
Well, again, if you would like the help, the assistance, the guidance, just an overview from a certified financial planner, a CFP, pick up the phone and give Tim Stearns a call, 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. Tim, in architecture, not only is the blueprint giving us the layout of all the tools that we will need and the order of assembly, but it also is the phase of the design where we troubleshoot for structural and engineering integrity, meaning that the building is going to stand once we put it together. Blueprints are very detailed in that way, and so if we don't have the blueprint or maybe another example, a roadmap here to tell us step by step how we're going to get to where we want to get to, again, we're missing a huge piece of the puzzle, and it's something that we need to address. Many of us, again, have the tools, or maybe we know where we want to get to, but have not defined the step-by-step course on how to get there.
I think so. And a lot of people kind of lost track of where they're at. We had a 10-year plus bull market. So everything was on easy street.
Yep.
And all it took was this pandemic to wipe out a lot of gains that people had. And then it was kind of a reality check. And now people are I noticed that a lot of the people that have been in our retirement classes are coming back to the table and they want to talk to us, because a lot of the things I described that were going to happen in the market did. Fortunately or unfortunately, I'm not saying I'm a soothsayer or a wise man, but obviously it showed that, all good things do come to an end. And I mean, who would have saw that thing coming?
Yeah.
Luckily, a lot of our clients have come back and given names, references and that type of thing, because we've helped them. And we didn't have a lot of panicky phone calls, but when you're in retirement, that's the time you make sure that you have it, you built it on concrete, not on sand.
Absolutely. Well, Tim, even with a plan, I don't think that journey, that path is going to be without some uh, speed bumps, some potholes, some
Absolutely.
detours along the way. And with this COVID-19 and with the economy as volatile as it has been during this time, I read a recent article saying that thanks to COVID-19, Social Security's day of reckoning may be even closer than we thought it might
Right.
be. We already saw press saying that in 2033, not in the terribly too far distant future, Social Security may run into problems. So how do we plan today to account for those kind of things in the future, I guess, is the question. Building up more stable, secure streams of income ourselves has to be a big component of that plan.
I couldn't agree more. And, one of the things we talk about in our classes is that Social Security, there's a note on every statement, or if you go online, you can see it.
They put it in
That talks,
bold. They're not trying to hide it.
absolutely. No one's trying to hide it. And they, no one wants to, everyone's been kicking that can down the street and they don't want to deal with it. But at some point that's going to come home to roost and, something needs to be changed. Well, the last thing I want to do is rely on the government for my retirement. So I'm going to make sure that I make, a good retirement plan for my wife and I. And, this is what we try to preach to everybody. Make sure you have your house in order so that it's up to you if God forbid something happens to your retirement.
Well, again, if you would like to maximize your available sources of lifetime income, such as Social Security, make well thought through and informed decisions with that. But even with the best decision with Social Security, it's typically not going to cover everything that we need or want and desire into and through retirement. So we've got to have a plan formulated to generate the rest of the income that we're going to want and need to be able to depend on to support our lifestyle. That's where we formulate those plans, ladies and gentlemen. And Tim Stearns, his team there at TJ Stearns Inc., they can help you formulate those plans with the guidance and the perspective of a qualified professional who's been there and done that and seen it before many, many times over, and a fiduciary requirement to put the best interest of his clients as the first and foremost top priority. All those things are so important in getting your plan and achieving your goals into your financial future. Pick up the phone, give a call, 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. Tim, it seems to me, though, like just things are out of kilter because when there is bad news in the market, it seems like, or bad news about the economy, rather, it seems like the market behaves opposite. I mean, we've heard that, we're roaring past unprecedented unemployment numbers, 15% or 20, 25%, 33 million jobs lost to coronavirus. And yet the market surges and goes way upwards. How do you reconcile that? I mean, are we just living in the twilight zone here, or is there some rhyme and reason to it?
Yeah, I don't think there is rhyme or reason, and I don't have a crystal ball. But I know that, when we're doing planning for people, we make sure that we have a stock portfolio that maybe has some stop losses in it. When you're in retirement, you have to be active, strategic, and tactical. And that's why I love that nowadays they're allowing this 59.5 where I can get out of a mutual fund that can't go to cash unless I say I want them to. So again, it's a law. The Investment Company Act of 1940 states that they have to say 80 cents on a dollar. Now, you can call XYZ company and tell them to take you to cash, but I ask people this all the time when we talk. How many outbound phone calls did you get from your mutual fund company when this pandemic hit? I have yet to have anyone say, oh, yeah, they called me and told me to go to cash.
Right.
So the point is that you got to be active, strategic, tactical. What is your plan for something like that happening?
Well, and Tim, that's sort of where the professional help of a qualified advisor comes into play, right? Because the mutual funds are in the portfolio. They're not going to place those outbound calls. You're not going to get personal guidance from a mutual fund. And to your point, a mutual fund is not going to change its fundamental approach based on the conditions. If it's dry and sunny day outside, we're going the speed limit. If there's a 1/4-inch sheet of ice on the road, the mutual fund keeps going that posted speed limit. That's what the 80% requirement is, and why they have that outlined in the perspective, how they will stay invested. So not only are we not receiving the guidance from the mutual fund itself, but a lot of people don't have the guidance of a qualified professional to manage those mutual funds or the holdings in the portfolio.
Right. And that's why, we tell people, make sure that you're working with a fiduciary. That's one of the biggest things we harp on in our retirement classes. And by the way, right now we are still teaching those classes through Zoom chats, like you and I are doing right now. So if anyone wants to call in and go through the class with us, we're not charging people for it right now because I feel it's that big of a beneficial add-on to help people. It's something we can give back, and it just costs me my time. But I think it's been outstanding. I have one tomorrow morning with another person who's ready to, wants to learn,
Yeah.
especially with what just happened to her portfolio.
Yeah.
So, and luckily some of these people are getting do-overs, but if the other shoe drops and the stock market falls down again, what if it doesn't come back? What's
Right.
your plan? You gotta go back to work when you're 70 something years old? No one wants to do that.
Nope. As we've talked about, Tim, you only get that one shot at an ideal retirement. You don't want to do over. You don't want to say, well, I didn't do that right. That was a mistake. And better luck next time. There isn't a next time. There's only one shot. And that's why you got to educate yourself as much as possible to make well thought through and informed decisions and get the guidance of a qualified professional, such as a certified financial planner like ChicagoLand's certified financial planner here on Protect and Grow, Tim Stearns. Pick up the phone, give a call, 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. And in fact, Tim, I think that through this pandemic, at least I caught up on it maybe a little bit more. Perhaps it was a thing before, but I started noticing it when I had a little bit more downtime. But I started hearing about these master classes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know what that is. I also watched for the first time, but several times throughout my quarantine time, the show called Homestead Rescue.
Yes.
And the comparison here is the benefits of experience. The master class instructors are people in whatever trade, whatever craft. They have experience and they are teaching others how to do their craft. The reason why people pay to join their masterclass is the benefit of the experience of that individual. And like said on Homestead Rescue, this family, they go in where other families are trying to build their own homestead. Usually they're failing pretty miserably. And through years of winging it, those amateurs have sort of dug their own hole, figuratively, a pretty deep hole. Within just a few days, this family that knows what they're doing, they've got the experience, can turn things around and make progress that the amateurs just can't. Tim, the classes that you offer, the perspective of a certified financial planner such as yourself, that's that experience factor.
Exactly. What do you always say? Experts learn from their mistakes. Geniuses learn from other people's mistakes.
Right.
This is along those lines. I've got 26 years that I've done this for a living. I'm a certified financial planner. I've seen a lot. We do a lot of continuing education. So that's why I'm happy to do Zoom chats where I can go over our PowerPoints that we would normally do in person in retirement classes. And it seems like people really enjoy it because it's one-on-one. So it's like it's their own master's class, if you will, and they get to ask questions. They don't have, sometimes, they might feel dumb asking in front of, 25, 30 other students. Here, a husband and wife can sit down with me and we can meet virtually and, they can ask away all the different things. But I find that a lot of people don't know what's going on. They have an idea, oh yeah, I think I have a Roth. That sounds familiar. Stuff like that. As they're heading into retirement, I mean, you got to have a game plan, a strategy, and that's why, Protect and Grow is our whole idea.
Well, again, if you would like to attend one of these retirement planning master classes, if you'd like to attend one of certified financial planner Tim Stearns' Retire Me Right courses, pick up the phone, give a call, sign up, 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. By the way, the entire personal review, the individual review of your accounts, your investments, your plan for retirement, that can be done in person, that can be done digitally or over the phone. In the comfort, that we're keeping safety in mind, we're keeping personal comfort in mind, can be accomplished through the the wonders of technology here. So no reason to procrastinate. There's no benefit for waiting. There is no cost to this, and there's no reason to meet in person to get this financial analysis and review session done. Pick up the phone to get started, 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. And Tim, yes, this is different. Yes, we've never seen this before, but there are characteristics that are similar to other times in the past. You helped your clients make it through the 2007, 2008 financial downturn, just like you helped them through temporary losses in 2018. And just like we're going to make it through this, but having a fundamental strategy, having that blueprint is going to take these type of events and regular business cycles and black swans that we're sure to see into the future into account.
So, I mean, a lot of the times we'll ask people, do you have a roadmap? Have you identified your goals and plotted a course to get to your destination? Have you mapped out what you want to achieve and accomplish, and when you want to get there? We often talk about the review process on the radio program. We're still doing that. It's just now it's virtual. People have to realize that just because they have a target date fund, or Bob in the cubicle over helped them pick funds because he's the expert in the office. Man, if I hear that again, it's unbelievable. I mean, Bob doesn't know anything more than anybody, but people listen to that person, and then the next thing you know, they're getting hurt. And that's why I think you need to go with a certified financial planner, a fiduciary, someone who has to look out for your best interest and actually knows what they're doing.
Well, Bob doesn't have any responsibility for your results either when he's giving that advice, which can inherently be a little dangerous and flawed in the thinking that that advice is what is best for your situation. So again, that relationship with a qualified professional, a fiduciary advisor, a certified financial planner, many benefits from that, ladies and gentlemen. Pick up the phone, give Tim Stearns a call, request a copy of that Essential Retirement Planning Strategy Guidebook, Income Allocation, 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. And Tim, we've mentioned this in the past several weeks, but during the course of this crisis, the market, the volatility did seem to receive it's the lion's share of the attention. But in fact, what the opportunity for planning and controlling our own destiny, where that may be lying right now, where that opportunity may be, could be in the taxes, and being more efficient with taxes, keeping more of our money generally can be as effective, if not more, and with a lot less risk associated with it than chasing after higher returns.
I agree. I mean, and it seems like a lot of people, I'd say a majority of Americans, were reactive. Oh yeah, what about taxes? We had one client who wanted to take out $100,000 to buy a place in Florida. This is before the pandemic, and I asked her, "What do you want to withhold the taxes?" Well, I don't want to pay taxes on it. Well, I told her it's an IRA. It's never been touched by Uncle Sam. These are the things that we need to make sure that the IRS doesn't take more than its fair share. That's another thing we've looked at with some people, Roth conversions, that type of thing, because in our minds, taxes are on sale right now. This thing sunsets in 2026, the tax plan that we're currently in. It's a great opportunity. Maybe that's a time to convert some stuff and ride the market back up. It all depends. No stone left unturned when we meet with somebody. When we meet with them, first we do an outline, then we fill in the details. Income planning is a huge part of this for most people, because creating income from savings and investing is the part that most people have never done before. Again, a net seller of assets. They're not feeding the fund anymore. They're not working anymore. So how do you retain your gain?
And when that money starts to come out of that account, Tim, to provide the income, we are subject to kind of equal and opposite force that we were taking advantage of when we were making contributions. During our working career, our standard of living, our comfort, our lifestyle was afforded by our work, by the paycheck. And the opportunity to invest for growth was also supported by that income. During our retirement, as we are creating the income from the account, any kind of volatility during that time as we are pulling money out is inherently compounding on the very risks that we face. And again, that's why you need a specific income plan. Tim has made the offer. Tim, you are willing to sit down, work with somebody, help them map out that income plan, something that you have found a lot of people don't have, a specific blueprint for how to create the income they'll need in retirement.
We're happy to do it. And I don't think a lot of people, I'd say 9 out of 10 Americans, I ask in our different classes, I say, oh, do you have an income plan? A retirement income plan? Yeah, I did a spreadsheet, that only they understand. And then they haven't taken into account inflation, Medicare. What is Social Security going to look like? The whole ball of wax. And we make sure that we throw everything in there, but the kitchen sink, as they say. So we are going to always make sure that everything is included so that we have a plan and we're not being reactive when the market goes in a tailspin like it just did.
Well, you don't want your retirement plan to have miscalculations or mistakes. And there have been plenty of projects, ladies and gentlemen, where engineering hasn't been quite right and humongous mistakes or miscues have been made. We don't want our retirement to be subject to that. So again, the experience of somebody who's been through it before is going to be beneficial for you. There is no benefit to procrastination. There is no downside to placing the call and get that plan put together. It's just an investment of time. There is no cost. There is no obligation. There's no need to meet in person to start that conversation and start your path toward getting a better handle on your finances, on your money, on improving your future. Call now to Tim Stearns, a certified financial planner, for that complimentary review. 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. 800-640-2256. And Tim, you'll help people not only formulate the roadmap, but be more like that GPS, because GPS helps us correct our course in real time as we go along in our route. And regular reviews, checkups, continuing to monitor the plan, that's going to be a big part of it as well.
Absolutely. And we'll make sure that all the questions get answered. We have an estate attorney here. If they haven't done that, which a lot of people haven't done any type of planning, or if they did estate planning, it was years ago, and, the kids are raised and married and all that good stuff. Or the other thing, thankfully we have a CPA here, certified public accountant, that can help answer any questions that we have for taxes. If we're going to do a Roth conversion, where we're at, we have a whole team here, and I promise it'll be worth every minute that they spend with us.
Well, it is just an investment of time, but if you are willing to invest some of yours, Tim and his team are willing to donate some of theirs. Pick up the phone, give a call now, 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256 to reach out and be in touch with TJ Stearns, Inc. and Chicagoland's certified financial planner, Tim Stearns. Also, that book, Income Allocation, he has made available. It is the essential retirement planning resource guidebook telling you all of the risks that you will face into and throughout retirement and how to structure a specific plan with your assets to help you minimize, address those, and in some cases, eliminate them. 800-640-2256 is the number to call to request and receive a copy of Income Allocation. 800-640-2256. Tim, we always appreciate your time. As always, thank you for being here as our resource on Protect and Grow ChicagoLand Retirement.
Thanks again for having me, Peter.
Tune into Chicagoland certified financial planner Tim Stearns' full radio program on 890 WLS every Sunday at 11 a.m. and visit tjstearns.com for many valuable resources, including other great episodes of Chicagoland Retirement. Be sure to subscribe.
Securities offered through TJ Stearns, a registered representative of Crown Capital Securities LP, member FINRA SIPC. The information presented on this program is provided for informational purposes only without warranty of accuracy, completeness, or suitability for particular purpose. This program is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. This information is general in nature, not specific enough to be construed as advice. You should not make any decision based on the information presented on this program without independent consultation with an appropriately licensed professional or competent advisor. Investment in securities or the market involves a potential risk for loss of principal. Trading, therefore, may not be suitable for all listeners. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing company. Withdrawals of growth from annuities may be taxable as ordinary income in the year it is taken. Individuals should review contracts for specific details of the product's features and costs.